Did you know there's a place in Africa where women freely explore intimacy with each other before marriage? In Botswana, the Kung women practice a unique cultural tradition that promotes personal autonomy and understanding of consent. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. What if we could challenge everything we thought we knew about relationships and intimacy? In Botswana, the Kung people have been doing just that for generations. These indigenous hunter-gatherers, also known as the San, have developed a social structure that turns Western notions of courtship on their head. At the heart of Kung culture lies a tradition that might shock some and intrigue others. Young women are encouraged to engage in intimate exploration with each other before marriage. This practice isn't just accepted, it's celebrated as an essential part of personal growth and social bonding. But why is this tradition so important to the Kung? It's all about empowerment and understanding. By exploring intimacy with other women, young Kung females gain a deep understanding of their own bodies and desires. This knowledge becomes a powerful tool as they navigate future relationships with men. The practice also fosters a strong sense of personal autonomy. Kung women learn early on that they have control over their bodies and their choices. This understanding of consent is woven into the fabric of their society, creating a culture where women's voices and preferences are respected and valued. Compared to many other cultures, where discussions about sexuality are often taboo or restricted, the Kung approach is refreshingly open. In many Western societies, young people often struggle with shame or confusion around their sexuality. The Kung tradition, by contrast, normalizes exploration and self-discovery. This openness has a profound impact on relationships and gender dynamics within Kung society. Men and women enter into partnerships with a clear understanding of their own needs and boundaries. The result? More equitable relationships where both partners feel empowered to communicate openly about intimacy. And it's important to note that this tradition doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a broader cultural context that values community, sharing, and mutual respect. The Kung people have managed to create a society where personal freedom coexists harmoniously with strong social bonds. This unique approach to intimacy and relationships challenges many Western notions of empowerment and sexual liberation. While the West often equates empowerment with independence and individual choice, the Kung demonstrate that true empowerment can also arise from community support and shared experiences. As we ponder the Kung women's tradition, we're reminded that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to relationships and personal growth. Different cultures find different paths to empowerment and understanding, and from the intimate traditions of the Kung to the cutthroat world of international commerce, Botswana is indeed full of surprises, but none quite as dazzling or as dangerous as what's hiding just below the surface. How did tiny stones catapult an entire nation from rags to riches, and why might they now be its greatest threat? Botswana's diamond industry is a powerhouse, producing around 40 million carats of diamonds in 2016 alone. These glittering gems have transformed the country from one of Africa's poorest nations to one of its most stable and prosperous. It's a rags to riches story that seems almost too good to be true, and in some ways, it might be. The discovery of diamonds in Botswana in the 1960s marked the beginning of a new era. Suddenly, this landlocked country found itself sitting on a treasure trove. The government quickly partnered with international mining companies, and before long, Botswana was one of the world's leading diamond producers. But extracting these precious stones comes at a cost. Diamond mining in Botswana involves both open pit and underground methods, which can have significant environmental impacts. The process can lead to habitat destruction, soil erosion, and water pollution. It's a stark reminder that even the most beautiful treasures often have an ugly side. To its credit, Botswana's government has made concerted efforts to use its diamond wealth for the good of its people. They've invested heavily in infrastructure, education, and healthcare, significantly improving the quality of life for many citizens. It's a far cry from the resource curse that has plagued many other African nations rich in natural resources. However, Botswana's reliance on diamonds is a double-edged sword. While the industry has brought unprecedented prosperity, it has also made the country's economy dangerously dependent on a single resource. When global diamond prices fluctuate, Botswana's entire economy feels the tremors. It's a precarious position for any nation to be in. Recognizing this vulnerability, Botswana's leaders have been proactively working to diversify the economy. They're investing in sectors like agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, and financial services. The goal is to create a more resilient economy that can weather the ups and downs of the global diamond market. Yet, as Botswana continues to extract its diamond wealth, a heated debate rages on about sustainable resource management. How can the country balance its economic needs with environmental conservation and social responsibility? It's a complex question with no easy answers, but one that Botswana must grapple with as it charts its course for the future. Imagine a place where elephants roam freely in numbers unseen anywhere else on Earth. Now, what if I told you this same country was once on the brink of losing its wildlife entirely? Welcome to Botswana, where an unprecedented conservation success story is unfolding before our eyes. Botswana's approach to wildlife conservation is as unique as it is effective. The government has embraced a strategy known as high-value, low-impact tourism. This approach aims to attract fewer, more affluent tourists who are willing to pay a premium for exclusive wildlife experiences. By limiting visitor numbers, Botswana minimizes the environmental impact of tourism while maximizing its economic benefits. At the heart of Botswana's wildlife paradise are its national parks and reserves. Chobe National Park, home to one of Africa's largest elephant populations, offers visitors the chance to witness these majestic creatures in their natural habitat. But perhaps the crown jewel of Botswana's protected areas is the Okavango Delta, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. During seasonal floods, the Okavango Delta transforms into a lush oasis, creating a maze of channels, lagoons, and islands. This watery wonderland attracts a diverse array of wildlife, from hippos and crocodiles to an astonishing variety of bird species. It's a place where nature's drama unfolds daily, with predators and prey engaged in an eternal dance of survival. Despite its successes, Botswana's wildlife conservation efforts face significant challenges. Human-wildlife conflict remains a pressing issue, particularly in areas where communities live close to animal habitats. Elephants in particular can cause extensive damage to crops and property, leading to tension between conservation goals and human needs. Poaching, too, continues to threaten Botswana's wildlife. However, the country has implemented innovative solutions to combat this threat. These include the use of advanced technologies like drones for surveillance and the deployment of well-trained anti-poaching units. Community-based conservation projects also play a crucial role, involving local people in wildlife protection and ensuring they benefit from conservation efforts. The payoff of these efforts is clear. Botswana now boasts the world's largest elephant population. This remarkable achievement showcases the effectiveness of the country's conservation policies and its commitment to protecting its natural heritage. As we marvel at Botswana's wildlife success, it's worth noting the stark contrast between these vast wilderness areas and the country's modern urban centers. This juxtaposition of untamed nature and developing cities highlights Botswana's unique position, a nation striving to balance progress with preservation, urban growth with natural conservation. You've seen Botswana's wild side, but there's another face to this African gem. Imagine a place where tribal chiefs meet in modern parliaments, and young tech entrepreneurs code in the shadow of ancient baobab trees. Welcome to Botswana's urban revolution, where tradition and progress dance a delicate tango. Gaborone, Botswana's capital city, is a testament to this nation's rapid transformation. Sleek skyscrapers punctuate the skyline, their glass facades reflecting the intense African sun. Wide, tree-lined avenues crisscross the city, bustling with modern cars and well-dressed professionals. Yet, just a short drive from the city center, you'll find traditional villages where life moves at a much slower pace, and age-old customs still hold sway. This stark contrast between urban modernity and rural tradition is a defining feature of modern Botswana. In Gaborone, you'll find international restaurants, shopping malls, and nightclubs. But venture into the countryside and you might encounter a traditional Tswana wedding, complete with vibrant attire and age-old rituals. Botswana's political landscape is as impressive as its physical one. Since gaining independence in 1966, the country has maintained a stable, multi-party democracy, a rarity in a region often plagued by political turmoil. This stability has been crucial in attracting foreign investment and fostering economic growth. However, Botswana's rapid urbanization brings its own set of challenges. As more people flock to cities in search of opportunities, urban infrastructure is stretched to its limits. Housing shortages, traffic congestion, and the growth of informal settlements are pressing issues that the government is working to address. Amidst this whirlwind of change, Botswana is making concerted efforts to preserve its rich cultural heritage. Museums and cultural centers in major cities showcase traditional art, music, and crafts. In schools, children learn both English and Setswana, ensuring that the national language remains vibrant in the face of globalization. Education and technology are at the forefront of Botswana's development agenda. The country has invested heavily in its education system, achieving one of the highest literacy rates in Africa. Meanwhile, initiatives like the Botswana Innovation Hub are fostering a culture of technological innovation, encouraging young Botswana to develop solutions to local and global challenges. Looking to the future, Botswana has set ambitious sustainable development goals. The country aims to diversify its economy beyond diamonds, invest in renewable energy, and achieve universal access to healthcare and education. These goals reflect a vision of a Botswana that is prosperous, equitable, and environmentally sustainable. As we reflect on Botswana's journey, it's clear that this nation occupies a unique position in Africa. It's a country that has leveraged its natural resources for national development while striving to protect its environment and wildlife. It's a place where ancient traditions coexist with cutting-edge technology, and where democratic values have taken deep root. Botswana's story challenges many preconceptions about African nations. It's a tale of transformation, resilience, and the delicate balance between honoring the past and embracing the future. As we conclude our journey through this remarkable country, we're left with a pressing question: how can other nations learn from Botswana's example in navigating the complex path of development in the 21st century?